This Opinions Podcast, episode 30. I am your host with the most, Young Trill Murray, aka Bobby Manic, and Thanksgiving came and went. I wanted to do a podcast earlier. It's been like 2 weeks. The last actual podcast I put up was Brunswick Boomstick, which was pretty sideways. Apologies if anyone made it. Actually, Brady told me he made it through the whole thing, which is very commendable. Speaking of Brady Manic merch, right now, baby. Right now, Coleman. It's the thick of the season. Michigan's coming up Wednesday. Coleman, I'm going to FaceTime you Wednesday. If you don't have a Manic merch shirt on, the consequences are so tough, bro. Me and Bees have been watching Ip Man movies. All 4 of them. Actually, Bees didn't make the 4th one. Not yet. It's coming at Christmas. But that's why I have another sword here. This is a wooden sword to train Wing Chun with. Wing Chun action on that Coleman hind end if you don't have some merch on Wednesday, Coleman. That's all I'm saying. Enough of the Manic merch talk. My franchise is turning around. I did pretty well in fantasy football today. I beat an unbeatable guy who was 11-0. And your boy came through with a bunch of nobodies. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm feeling good. I found my Gucci Mane book. I really needed that on the set of the pod. Livy got me that a couple years ago at Christmas. And it's freaking sweet. So I was jumping up and down when I found that. I got a Fortnite Nerf gun, which I have like a ton, like an arsenal of Nerf guns. I'm 30 years old. We got a bunch of Nerf guns, and we have a big time with them. So, me, Corey, not so much anymore. He's like Call of Duty and with the big shots. But my dad mainly. My dad, we're going to call him Wolf P through the podcast. And I imagine I'm going to have him on an episode here soon. I'd like to have my dad, and Brady's dad said he wanted to do an episode, so I'll just be piling the episodes on here soon. But my dad is a big Fortnite guy. And just to kind of give you a lens here, Brady actually was the one that found it. He was looking at stats of all his friends on Xbox, like Epic Games friends for Fortnite. And my dad's in first place out of everybody. That is my friend and Brady's friend, which Brady's probably has a higher XP than mine. But my dad has 1.5 million XP earned in Fortnite, which is like 10 times second place. So that means every day for the last 3 years he's been sweaty on Fort. So it's important to us. We just got a couple dubs today, actually. I'm 30. Episode 30. So really, this could be just a roast of me for being 30 years old and still doing the things I do. I'm not even going to indulge in the story that some people know already. I might have the cojones to do it one day. It's so embarrassing, dude. Yeah, that's tough, dude. I'm 30 years old. Anywho, my dad's a Fortnite fiend, and he was at Waffle House the other day. Saw a guy stroll in with a Epic Games jacket on, and he said at first he just walked out, but he just felt, man, how many times have I just thought about running into one of these guys? So he turns around, goes back into Waffle House, tells him the whole spiel. You know, this is my gamer tag. I'm 50 years old. I play Fortnite every day. I love it. And my dad's dream is he has a cool Jeep. He has like a lime green Jeep with the truck bed, but it's not like the Gladiators, the ones that they sell at the dealership. It's like special made, and he sent pictures of it to the guy's email, and he's going to try to get his Jeep in Fortnite. And the guy replied. He said, you know, they're always looking for good ideas, and he liked the pictures of the Jeep. So I don't know if that guy's a big wig or if he's just full of smoke. I don't know, but that would be super sick to have my dad's Jeep in Fortnite. So that happened over the Thanksgiving break. And really, we just watched a lot of football. And like I said, I'm 30, but I feel like I'm a million years old. I just can't watch football anymore. I either go to sleep or I get mad that they've changed the rules and you can't hit anybody. I sound like an old man. I just can't do it. And plus I was fired up. They commandeered my podcast set over here and they're playing the new Adele music, which is just a nightmare to a guy like me. That's just... So I was watching YouTube. I'm a fiend on YouTube. And I saw they took like 6 Westerners, like they're, I don't know, like Afghani people or something. I don't know. And like they can't speak English. And they sat them down and they played them Metallica, Enter Sandman. And 5 out of the 6 people were repulsed. They said they had a headache. But the one guy with a little comb over and a little button-up shirt, he said that was like the most soothing music he's ever heard. And I think I'm that 1 out of 6. And I've never been like this. I grew up on hip-hop and R&B. In high school, I listened to Pretty Ricky, which is embarrassing in itself. But I never liked the heavy metal stuff until the last 4 or 5 years. And it's not like I'm a Slipknot or like a nasty headbanger, but I like Led Zeppelin. I like Pink Floyd. I like older rock music, Black Sabbath. And, dude, just listening to like Taylor Swift or country music, or that just burns my insides. I just can't sit there and do it. I got to leave. I got to get out of here. Got to go. And Paxton, my cousin, knows. He would drive me around and he would just start playing. I opened the door one time and threatened to jump out of a moving vehicle because he was listening to like George Strait or something, and it was going to drive me nuts. So, and I've heard of like the CIA using like headbanging music as like a torture device. They like throw a guy in a hole and play loud music all night long, and he'll go crazy. But that's me with that new Adele album. Lose it. I don't want to hear it. Not one song. But this one is at the top of the Billboard. No, not in here. That's the last time anyone commandeers my podcast studio. I will just be wielding 2 swords, and whoever wants to fight me for it can do it. But it's not going to happen. That's it. And I'm in a sour mood today. I didn't want to do the podcast. Virgil Abloh died. I went outside, watched some Virgil Abloh videos, and got freaking fired up and got mad and came in here and started the podcast. So, you get what you get. Sorry. But my thing with the football, I feel like I'm wasting time. It's the same thing over and over. Oh, Auburn's going to do it, and Bama's got the ball in the red zone, and what's going to happen? Nothing. It's over. Who cares? I don't even care about the football playoff anymore. I'm just an old angry crab. That's the name of the podcast. I didn't know what I was going to call it. Old angry crab. That's me, and I'm sorry. No, I'm not. That's just who I am these days. Virgil Abloh died today. If you don't know who Virgil Abloh is, I've been following him on Instagram, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years now. Definitely before the pandemic. Freaking pandemic. This isn't even in my notes. Omicron? That's the next villain in a Transformer movie, Omicron. It's a South African variant. Dude, like, have some pride and name it, like, Wuhan is the Chinese one. And I'm not racist, but it sounds Chinese. It sounds right. Like it came from China. It should be called Wuhan. Whatever, dude. If it came from South Africa, it's not a race thing. It's just like you're going to call it Omicron, dude. Who has the not the audacity, what's the word? Who has the power to name that and decide to name it Omicron? That's just weird. Like that's got to be like some weird, like a voodoo name or something. Omicron sounds like an elixir to fix the kryptonite or something. Like the Superman has to drink Omicron to cure the kryptonite infestation. I don't know. Omicron. That's just ridiculous. Anywho, Virgil Abloh died. Virgil Abloh was a lead designer for Louis Vuitton, but he was the co-founder. I believe he was the real deal, like the highest founder of Off-White brand, which had the famous collaboration with Nike. They just made a ton of shoes this year, like 50 different colorways of the Dunk Low, which the lowest price for any of those is $500. Um, his Off-White brand itself is off the charts with creativity, and to a guy like me, I could just sit there and look at his Instagram page all day. A different kind of guy, and it's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon and for clout and saying Virgil Abloh. I was genuinely inspired just by looking at his Instagram page. I don't know. It's not just him. There's a few guys there's a guy named Russ Pope. I don't even know if he's famous. I just stumbled across him one day. He draws little cartoons. It just keeps me going. I like seeing creativity out there. And Virgil was one of those guys for me. I like to see what came out of his head. And he's not just a fashion guy. He designed multiple album covers. Like my favorite mixtape ever is Live Love ASAP by ASAP Mob. He designed the album cover for that. He designed the album cover for Kanye, the Yeezus album, and Dark Twisted Fantasy. He recently designed Drake's private jet. Like he's just out of this world creative. And I was looking up stuff just before I started this podcast. That's why it fired me up to do it. Really, I was gonna lay in bed and watch Ip Man again and fall asleep to that, but I got fired up outside watching Virgil do his thing, and not even designing, not art. It was him doing music. I didn't know this. Virgil Abloh in high school and whatever would DJ parties and DJ sets at block parties, but Travis Scott's Bird's Eye View tour a few years back, he had Virgil open a set and DJ a set. It's on YouTube. I'm going to put it in the description if you want to watch it. Virgil just walks out there. They don't even know who he is. And he just caught mainstream fame maybe 3-4 years ago. And that's about when this happened, this Bird's Eye View tour. And dude, he goes out there and lights that audience on fire, man. Random music that you could tell he chose, and he choreographed the whole DJ set, and he's good. It sounded good, and it had the people going crazy, and it was like out in Left Wing, a couple of the songs, like you didn't expect him to play Dream On by Aerosmith, but he did, and it was crazy. And it's like what I want to do. I want to be that. I don't know. It's so creative, dude. And I don't know. I feel like I don't have even if I had the people around me and the ability to do that, I don't even think I could. Like, there's just a few people that have something special, and I know I've been dragging on about Virgil Abloh. Virgil Abloh was one of those people. And that's that. So, yeah, respect to Virgil Abloh, man. I don't have any Off-White stuff. I really should have bought his book. I had it in the cart like months ago. Something's Off. He had a picture book with his Nike collab stuff in it, and I didn't buy it. This is gonna be so boring to like a random person. But I don't care. It's what inspired me. It's what fired me up. You need to go watch some Virgil Abloh stuff and get fired up yourself. Ip Man movies. I already referred to them twice. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get on Netflix right now and watch Ip Man 1. You will not be disappointed. I don't care who you are or what you're into. Ip Man, dude. Fired me up the past couple of weeks, and I've been raving about it, jumping up and down, and Bees is the only one that bought into it. Thank you, Bees. And you're not sad, are you, Bees? I asked him twice, and he loves them. That's the first thing he talked about this morning. He's like, oh, I finished that Ip Man 3 last night. He was like, that ending. I was like, yeah, I know. Who you telling, Bees? Who you telling, Bees? And we were just going back and forth with the Wing Chun all weekend. So yeah, that's what you need to do. You cut the podcast off and go watch you some Ip Man. I know this isn't quality content. Look at me. I need a camera. My camera autofocus sucks. I noticed that on a Brunswick boomstick. But we're getting there, baby. It's just episode 30. Cut me some slack. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like 1 in the morning on a Sunday night. I got work in the morning. I shouldn't have even done this. But the whole fam came up from Georgia for the Thanksgiving deal. My chair is squeaky. Oh, I'm just about to break this whole set to the ground. But the whole squad was here. We had like 10 people in the house. Brady came over. We were eating slutty brownies that Olivia made. That's what they're called. I didn't name them. It was a big time, dude. But I did notice the football thing. Like, I'm over football, I guess. Unless the Dolphins are playing, which is a nightmare in itself. I'm over football. It doesn't get me fired up anymore. I've said fired up 30 times in this podcast. I need to find a new hobby that I'm good at, not podcasting, because this is just going down in flames. I've been playing a lot of Xbox, I guess, compensating for the fact that I don't have a love life and I am half dead. I'm not going to make it to 70. Who are we kidding? This is so gloom and doom. It's raining, it's pouring, my love life is boring me to tears. Through the years, no sunlight, just sorrow. Woo! Okay, I'm getting old. I ditched watching football to go to Barnes & Noble the other day, and I picked up some heat. Got the Chronic album, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. That's unbeatable. Until I turned the corn and found a little bit of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I grew up on this. I haven't had Christmas music in my collection yet, I don't think. Yeah, this is the first Christmassy deal. And I'm pumped about it. It got some good stuff. It got like the Russian Christmas. You know, like when the Home Alone, when they're rushing to the airport. Got that on there. A bunch of other freaking slappers. Speaking of Home Alone, nice transition there. We watched Four Christmases, which is a great Christmas movie. It's probably like top 3 for me, up there with Home Alone and Elf, obviously. Don't think I'm missing anything in the top 3. Yeah, that's probably it. Haven't watched Elf this year yet, but Home Alone is a must. A must. Joe Pesci, favorite actor. Dude, so many lines in there. You're such a disease. Disease. I'm 30. Watching Home Alone. All right. I didn't really have much. I actually had a whole podcast planned out for last night, but we were watching the Bedlam game till like midnight, and we were all fired up, and we had like 3 dogs and 10 people, and it was just a whole wallabazoo in here, and we just didn't get it done. So, and I'm lazy. That's really the thing. But here we are now. And while I was being an old man at Barnes and Noble, I ran into some basketball cards. So I'll probably, yeah, I was debating about doing it, but why not? I'll flip the camera around and open it on the pod. Um, but coming up, I'm going to do a couple of episodes. I think I'm going to try to get Brady's dad on an episode, talk about cosmic brownies and other moist desserts. That'll be a good one, actually. I'm looking forward to that. Uh, and I want to do another Xbox Legends episode. Um, Not too many people were up on the podcast when I did, and there's like 7 people now. But I did an Xbox Legends episode maybe 6 months ago, and I just like cut up some of my Fortnite highlights and 2K and Madden, and threw them all in there and like narrated over it. But this next time, I think I'm just gonna play like the uh, Tremendous Opinions theme song and just play a bunch of highlights. I know there's millions of people out there that watch Twitch, this, that, and the other, so whatever, dude. I'll throw some highlights on there. Xbox Legends Episode 2. And really, my main thing for this episode, I know I'm monotone, but it's 1 in the morning. I've had a long weekend. Quit messing around and do what you love. Do what you meant to do, man. Like, I'm a victim of it too. I just fall into the freaking Snapchat and Instagram. God bless me, I don't have TikTok. I'm never going to download TikTok, dude. I've been tempted a couple times, but I'm going to refuse. That's a manual refuse of TikTok. I can't do that. I refuse to do that to myself. But I'm going to slow down on going down into the hole of YouTube just all day. It's all day. But I'll learn a lot. I didn't graduate college. I learn a lot from YouTube. But I need to slow down and do what I love, which is being an idiot, a monotone loser, jumping up and down as a middle-aged crisis nerd on a podcast. Doing these. So if you do watch the podcast, maybe you just watch the YouTube version. On the podcast apps, me and my sister, we do like a Tremendous Opinions radio type thing where we play all my vinyl records and hers and mix and match them up, and we jump up and down. Those are called Vinyl Soul Searching. They're on the podcast apps, Spotify and Apple Podcast alone. I don't put them on YouTube because copyright, but I love doing that. I love music, and I love playing piano, even though I'm not good. But my mom is, and she sits down with me and she tries to teach me things. And on the outro here, getting out of this episode, I just got butterflies in my stomach. I'm nervous. 4 people watch the podcast, and I'm nervous. I'm going to do an outro playing the piano, just so whoever does watch this can hold me accountable to keep doing this and try to get good at something. But yeah, I'm going to, well, yeah, I'm going to save the sports cards for later. I'm going to do the outro on the piano. That's what I'm going to do. I'm confusing. Stop wasting time and do what you love. I'm about to show you how bad I am at piano. And I mean, it's okay. I've been able to somewhat play this song since I was in junior high, but I just recently upped my game on it. So that's about it, you guys. Sorry for the monotone again. And well, it's only 20-minute podcast, but it's 1 in the morning. I got work tomorrow. I got to go to bed. So if you did watch, thank you very much. Stop wasting time and do what you love, because I'm going to blink twice. I'm going to be 40 and still be a failure. So here we go. Here's an outro. This is a song that Lil Wayne did. It's not as popular as some of his others. It's called Me and My Drink. And this has been episode 30 of Tremendous Opinions Podcast with your host, Bobby Manic, a.k.a. young Trill Murray. Here we go.